Hi, Sterling families. We are so glad that you have joined us for our very first Summer Virtual Read Aloud. Each week over the summer, we will release a new read aloud. We will alternate between picture books, which are geared for all students in elementary grades, and the first chapter of novels, which are geared for third through fifth graders to read on their own, or kindergarten through second graders to have some support from a family member. So we hope that you will be inspired to think and talk with your family about the books and the things that we discuss in our read alouds. So we are going to begin today with a picture book called The Summer Nick Taught His Cat to Read. So before we start this book, I want you to go ahead and think about what might be challenging for Nick when he is trying to teach his cats how to read. How might his cats respond? Do you think he's going to be successful? Make a prediction either by yourself or with someone in your family. The Summer Nick Taught His Cats to Read by Curtis Manley, illustrated by Kate Berube. Nick had two cats, Vern and Stevenson. They spent summers doing everything together. But when Nick sat down with the book, the cats had their own ideas. So Nick decided to teach them to read. He started with easy words. Ball, said Nick. B-A-L-L. But the cats just wanted to play. At lunchtime, Nick pointed to the word food. The cats ignored him. Wake up, said Nick after they fell asleep. This is no time for an NAP. His cats did not like that at all. So Nick made new flashcards, and Vern got interested. Down there at that word that Vern is interested in, that word is fish. As a reader, I'm wondering why Vern the cat might be interested in the word fish. How might he already know that word? Why might he like that word? But not Stevenson. Stevenson just said, "Merp," and crawled under the bed. Nick tried nursery rhymes next. When he read Three Little Kittens, Vern searched everywhere for mittens, but not Stevenson. Then Nick read his favorite books to Vern, who liked stories about cats and stories about fish. Vern loved fish. He followed along as Nick read, learning the sounds of the letters. As a reader, I'm thinking about Nick as a character, and I think that he is extremely patient. The reason that I think this is because in the beginning of the book, he wanted to teach his cats to read. They ignored him. They played. They were doing all kinds of other things, but he kept trying, and he never got mad at them. He kept trying with them. So that makes me think that he is patient. What other word could you use to describe Nick other than patient? And why do you think that? Spend a couple of minutes either thinking by yourself or talking with a family member. You can pause the read aloud until you're done thinking and then come back for the next part. Vern practiced on his own over and over, even after Nick went to bed. Soon he was reading new stories all by himself. The next morning, Nick tried once more. F-I-S-H. See? Fish. Vern loves that word, don't you? But Stevenson said, meow, and ran under the porch. He hissed at Nick and Vern. I know that when my cat hisses, he doesn't do it very frequently, but when he does, it means that he's kind of upset. So I can infer here that Stevenson is not very happy. Why do you think Stevenson is not happy? How come he's not liking to read? Maybe he doesn't like fish. Maybe he's confused. What do you think? What is wrong with Stevenson? Vern got his own library card and borrowed so many books that Nick could hardly carry them home. When they discovered a story they both liked, they acted out their favorite scenes. They dug up fish fossils in the flower beds. They bounced across the surface of the moon. It was fun, but it would have been more fun with Stevenson. Then Vern discovered a treasure under the bed, a great stack of Stevenson's pirate drawings. Wow, Nick whispered. Stevenson drew a story. We should write the words, said Nick. Vern helped. So now I'm thinking about Stevenson again and why he was a little bit angry before. He very clearly loves to create stories, and so he made his own story. Take a second and think about yourself as a reader and writer. Do you prefer to read the stories, or do you prefer to write the stories? When they were done, they squeezed under the porch, gave Stevenson an eye patch, and read The Tale of One-Eyed Stevenson and the Pirate Gold. Stevenson listened and followed along. He didn't run away or hiss, not even once. So Nick and Vern took him to the library to find more books. I could guess as a reader that these books are going to be about pirates because Stevenson has showed Nick and Vern that he really likes pirates. So I'm going to guess he's going to pick some books about pirates. The next morning, Nick woke up. Stevenson already had his whiskers in a book. That means that he was already reading the book. There he is down there reading Treasure Island. When Vern and Nick needed help fighting pirates, Stevenson found a sword too. Welcome aboard, matey, Nick yelled. Step lively. Nick and Vern rounded up 2 scurvy mutineers, and Stevenson held them at bay. Now, that might be something that you've never heard before. Held them at bay. So look at this picture and look at these stuffed animals that they're pretending are people who are being captured by the pirates. And look at what Stevenson's doing. What do you think it means that Stevenson held them at bay? What can they not do because of Stevenson? Take a second and talk about that with your family. So holding them at bay means that they cannot escape. He is keeping them from fighting or getting away. You can see here he's sitting on top of them. Then Nick and Vern climbed the mast and looked out over Treasure Island. When Nick yelled, "Land ho!" Stevenson was right there with them. Then they all hurried down and waded ashore. And it was Stevenson who found the buried treasure. Look at what he found. So are they really on Treasure Island? No, they're not. They're in the backyard. But what are they doing? They're pretending. Now Nick and his cats hunt for dinosaurs in the lost world beyond the garden. They race around the yard in 80 seconds. They journey to the center of the basement. They're taking all these stories and they're acting them out and pretending they're involved in them, but they're doing it at home. Sometimes Vern and Stevenson curl up with their own books, and sometimes Nick reads to them while they close their eyes and purr. But Nick also likes it when someone reads to him. Maybe I should teach you to speak, he says to his cats. How hard could that be? Oh dear. I am wondering how that would go if he tried to teach his cats to speak. Meow, said Stevenson. And that is the end of the book. So just like Stevenson, I hope that this summer you find some books that you are interested in. Read the books about things that you like, that things that you enjoy, that are fun for you. That might be different than your friends or your family or anybody else. Pick the things that are interested to you, because that's when reading is fun, when we get to read about things that we love. I hope you have some time to read today and get involved in a book that you really love. We look forward to seeing you for our next virtual read aloud next week.